Charlie Chaplin is perhaps the only actor who can be recognized by their silhouette. He created the little tramp persona with only a mustache, bowler hat, and walking stick. He also brought plenty of memorable scenes to the world of film. But his family saw a different man when the camera stopped rolling. Keep watching as Charlie Chaplin's son confesses the hard truth about his father. Being Charlie Chaplin's son. Charlie had 11 children in total. Michael is the second of 8 from his fourth and final marriage to Una O'Neill. He admits his father cast a huge shadow over him. He was forced to slide into the background because of his larger-than-life personality. There were also times when he was genuinely afraid of him. One of his first experiences on a film set with Charlie was when he was making Limelight. He remembers his father barking orders through a loudspeaker. The intimidating experience stayed with him forever. Michael was cast in A King in New York when he was 10. The satire of McCarthyism was Charlie's final leading role. He enjoyed working with his father, but wasn't encouraged to keep going. He was instead encouraged to focus on his education, which he struggled to do. Michael remembers his father entertaining the whole family with mime routines and other comedy acts, but he doesn't remember having those skills passed down to him. That type of attention went to teaching his sisters, Geraldine and Victoria, to play the piano. He didn't feel unloved, but he knew his father had a short temper. He also knew his father was talented, but it ramped up the expectations others had of him. Teachers would say he'd never measure up, and it hurt. He did reassess his relationship with his father after his death. He feels that his tough nature may have just been a way to prepare his son for the dangers of life. He also regrets any times he hurt or embarrassed him. Michael has also been willing to defend his father. He helped Charlie through his struggles with being investigated by the FBI under McCarthy. He also doesn't defend his father's romantic actions in marrying younger women, but does believe he didn't prey on them. Being Michael. Michael struggled to find his own identity and decide what he wanted to do for years. When he was 16, he ran away to London to be with his girlfriend. His father wouldn't speak to him for a while when he came back after 2 years. He tried to go to Barcelona to marry Patricia John when he was 18. The problem was he needed his parents' permission and they wouldn't provide it. It made front-page news when they eventually got married in England and had a baby son. Michael said his life moved from one ambition to the next. He didn't finish his course at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts. He felt he had, quote, no talent for acting and was too deep into the counterculture movement of the 60s. He also tried music and got a record deal. He released a song called I Am What I Am, but admits he hadn't written the song but needed money. He doesn't think he had any musical talent either, or that the song deserved to hit the charts. At 19, he hired 2 ghostwriters, Tom Marin and Charles Hamblett, to write a tell-all book titled I Couldn't Smoke the Grass on My Father's Lawn. It seemed he was once again unsatisfied because he went to court to stop it from being published. The case failed, and it went out anyway. Charlie was furious because it stereotyped him and included potentially libelous material. It led to another period where he didn't speak to Michael. He even got banned from the set of A Countess from Hong Kong, but that production was already full of issues. Michael worked on the film in secret when an old family friend who was a producer gave him a job. He did grunt work and wasn't credited, but got to meet Marlon Brando. Michael divorced Patricia when he was 20 and met Bataudier Chaplin the next year. Their life allowed Michael to try another ambition and get back to nature. In 1978, they went to a goat farm in the south of France. He was attracted by the landscape and spent 13 years there, but once again doesn't believe he did well. It was small, with only 6 acres and 30 goats. They didn't produce enough milk to live on, and there weren't many other buildings around. After that, he became tired of indecision. He felt like he was going nowhere, and the struggle to measure up to his father's legacy was crushing him. He needed a change. Writing a novel. Michael is 77, and his book is set to come out soon. Other than his 7 children from 2 marriages, he says it's the first thing he's done that he's truly proud of. Progress didn't come quickly. Michael is a major procrastinator who has trouble finishing anything. He says he tried to write when he was younger, but he would get started and find out he, quote, had nothing worthwhile to say. A friend helped him deal with his writer's block by telling him that what he'd done before was too superficial. He needed to stop being afraid to put himself onto the page and into his characters. The inspiration for his final product, A Fallen God, came from that goat farm in France. It tells of the medieval romance between Tristan and Isolde in the 13th century. It's an epic fairy tale fit for all ages. There are bits of everyone in Michael's life within the pages. The hero Tristan resembles Charlie's active and irresistible nature, but Michael says he never intended it to be that way. Instead, he wrote himself into another character. He modeled King Mark after his early life. He's an incredibly passive character who needs to learn how to fight for love. Michael also had a passive life with no ambition until he learned to grow and change. He says anyone can overcome the type of malaise he felt and stop drifting through life like he did if they work at it. Many of his loved ones doubted he'd finish such a daunting task. It was a family joke, but he's proud of himself for getting it done. He knows that his book-loving mother would be so proud of him. He doesn't want to speak for his father, but he thinks he would be as well. As far as a sequel or follow-up, Michael's not sure he has it in him. It took him 20 years to write the book, and he's not sure if he even has 20 years left. Being Charlie's other children or wife. The Real Charlie Chaplin was released in cinemas and Amazon Prime. It uses a combination of home videos, interviews, and other formats. They show him at his best, being an entertainer, but also at his worst as a man. This means including words from 4 of his children and his last wife, Una O'Neill. The documentary provides a deeper dive into his role as a father. Michael says you could never argue with him and that he, quote, suffocated those who were close to him. Jane admits she never truly got to know him as a person. Her only wish was to have a conversation with him alone. Geraldine says he became an entirely different person on stage. It also doesn't shy away from talking about his romantic relationships. He was married 4 times and allegedly slept with over 2,000 women. He met Mildred Harris in 1918 when he was 29 and she was 16. They got married that year after she told him she was pregnant. She divorced him in 1920, citing cruelty. He met Lita Gray that year when he was 31 and she was only 12 on the set of The Kid. He allegedly seduced her in 1924 when she was 15 and he was 35. She tried to speak of the cruelty she also suffered while married to him, but few would listen. They couldn't separate the man from the icon. She did get a settlement of $800,000, or about $14 million today. It was the largest divorce settlement ever made at the time. Charlie married Paulette Goddard in 1936. She was 22 but claimed to be 17. His controlling nature became too much and she left him in 1940. He married his final wife, Una O'Neill, in 1943. They had 8 children and she stayed with him until he died in 1977. The documentary acknowledges his talent and rags to riches story, but doesn't paint any of these relationships in a positive light. It shows him being cruel and controlling as he's ever been made out to be. He's allegedly said horrible things about the women, especially Lita. It also suggests he only married her to avoid jail for statutory rape. Now it's time to hear from you. What was the most surprising thing to hear in this video? Let us know in the comments section below.